The IPFW women's basketball team has begun their season-long 6-game homestand on a good note, having defeated Texas Pan American last Saturday afternoon and in Wayne State University on Tuesday night. Tonight they're trying to make it 3 in a row as they entertain the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State University. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Miles. Welcome once again to IPFW women's basketball here on College 56 Sports. I'm joined tonight by Dan Beret, who's graduate assistant for the IPFW men's basketball team. And Dan, a chance for you to see the IPFW women's team in action.
Yeah, I've seen them play a few times this season. Fortunately, I got to see them play both Texas Pan American and Wayne State. One thing I really noticed in both those games, the girls really came out with a lot of energy, which sparked both those victories.
Well, they're going to need some energy tonight because their opposition, the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State, come in here on a 7-game winning streak. They've also won 8 of their last 9, 10 of their last 12, and they're 17-8 overall in the year.
South Dakota State, a very tough opponent, undefeated in independent play, so it'll be a very good opportunity for Coach Chris Paul and the Lady Dons to get a victory against a very good team.
These two teams met in South Dakota back in mid-January. IPFW actually had a lead with 15 minutes to go, but then South Dakota State went on a 37-9 run to take control and pull away with the victory. IPFW wants to change things here tonight.
Yes, they do. Two things they need to do is they need to handle the pressure defensively in the half court, and they also need to shoot the ball a little bit better than they did in South Dakota State.
Players to look for tonight: Jonna Lewis Carlisle, Ashley Johnson, Hillary O'Connell for IPFW, Heather Sealer, number 20, and Megan Vogel, number 32 for South Dakota State. Key to victory again, Dan?
They need to shoot the ball well, and then they need to handle the pressure, and I think they're up for the challenge.
It ought to be a good one. IPFW and South Dakota State. Stay tuned. Starting lineups and the opening tip just ahead, right here on College 56 Sports.
That book was all right. You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales, you're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stomp Band is looking for more members, and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stomp.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW, along with Dan Beret, graduate assistant for the IPFW men's basketball team. This is Mike Miles. We are going to re-jump IPFW in the gray uniforms, blue numbers, blue trim, going from right to left, or I should say left to right, and South Dakota State gold with blue numbers and white trim, and the Jackrabbits control the opening tap. And very quickly in the lane, popping it up and in, is Ashley Muckenhern. South Dakota State 17-8, IPFW 2 wins in a row. They are now 4 up and 20 down.
Right away, the Jackrabbits are coming out with the pressure that we expected, and the Dons seem to be handling it fairly well.
Kelly Boyd missed a short jumper, and here comes South Dakota State on the run. And they want to push the ball as much as possible. Andrea Vertigan is number 4. Heather Sealer, their best outside shooter, misses a 3. Well, we got bodies flying all over the place. And I believe a foul going to be called on South Dakota State. Megan Vogel.
Foul on Vogel there. Jenny Green did a great job boxing out, which gave the Dons the possession here.
2-0. SU on top. Ashley Johnson, the junior out of Kokomo, Indiana, bringing the ball up. We've been told South Dakota State will play primarily man-to-man defense tonight.
And that's what they're in here, Mike. And Sealer picked up AJ right away, and the Dons turned the ball over.
Sealer off the glass, no good. Hillary O'Connell, who made amends for the pickpocket by getting the rebound. Hillary had 19 points against Wayne State Tuesday night. She has that problematical back. What a move by AJ, but the layup missed. Quick outlet pass to Sealer. Skip pass, left-hand three-point shot, no good by Megan Vogel. Jenny Green with the board.
Johnson will control for IPFW.
One thing that South Dakota State head coach Aaron Johnston said to me before the game, South Dakota State concerned with the dribble penetration. Turnaround jumper by Kelly Boyd is no good, but again, bodies hit the floor. And this time the foul, I believe, is going to go on Jenny Green.
First foul for Green. It's good to see her getting her presence made in the low post area on the rebounding side of things.
I kidded her last Saturday. Dan said she's the enforcer on this team. Nice baseline drive by Megan Vogel. Her first 2 points of the night. It's a 4-0 Jackrabbit lead.
Vogel's a player that can be both dangerous inside and outside, as she's shooting over 38% on the year from three, but she also gets it done off the glass, averaging about 6 rebounds per game.
Shauna Lewis Carlisle kicks it out to O'Connell. Three-pointer up short. Dons 0 for 3 so far from the floor. Here comes South Dakota State. Sealer to Vogel. IPFW playing a matchup zone. Oh, inside feed. Shot is missed by Vogel, but we got a whistle. Ball knocked out of bounds, and they'll say it belongs to South Dakota State.
IPFW with a chance to get a stop here after giving Vogel a good look in the paint. IPFW fortunate that she missed that layup.
Sealer inbounds it, and a violation called on South Dakota State. Their first turnover of the night. We played nearly 3 minutes. 4-0 is our score. South Dakota State on top. Jackrabbits going for their 8th consecutive victory.
Johnson doing a good job of not letting the pressure get to her. She's attacking the ball pretty well, getting into the paint.
Pull-up jumper, no good by Shauna Lewis Carlisle. The ball is knocked out of bounds. Possession remains with IPFW.
It's good to see IPFW showing good effort on the offensive rebounding side of things. Boyd battled there to maintain the possession for IPFW.
A look at Aaron Johnson, head coach for South Dakota State. Also saw Julianne Huna coming in for Kelly Boyd. Huna from Halle, Germany.
Nice move by Huna down low.
Banks went off the glass and in. It's now 4-2. The lead is cut to 2.
And the Dons came out with a little bit of pressure themselves there, which they had some success doing against Wayne State on Tuesday night.
Baseline cut off for Vogel. Skip pass, three-point shot by Vertigan, no good. Jenny Green with her second rebound.
Good closeout by JLC.
AJ Ashley Johnson calling the shots from the point guard position.
Look like they're going to the post right again.
Huna, give and go. Shauna Lewis Carlisle penetrates, kicks it out. 10 in the shot clock. Johnson off the rim, no. Rebound pulled down by Muckenhern. Muckenhern loses the ball. Here comes Johnson, 1-on-3, but AJ's got the speed. Off the glass, count it, and she's fouled.
Johnson with the steal, wasted no time getting down the floor, beating 4 Jackrabbits herself to get the and one. Hopefully she can convert for a 3-point play.
Timeout on the floor, 15:44 to go. We're tied at 4. You're watching IPFW Women's Basketball on College 56 Sports.
Are you in there? What's up? The show's at 7. Whoa. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW, along with Dan Beret. This is Mike Maas. IPFW has just tied the game on an Ashley Johnson basket, and AJ will have a chance to break the tie as she'll head to the free throw line to shoot one. That last foul was on Christina Gilbert, her first and South Dakota State's second of the night.
So far, Mike, it's been a pretty up-tempo game as both teams have looked to push the ball in transition. IPFW with two good really point guards that both have the ability to handle the basketball and run out in transition.
Free throw is good. First of the night for IPFW. They scored the last 5 points in a row.
IPFW appears to be in a 2-3 zone.
Outside shot, no good, but Vardigan gets the offensive rebound, and then she travels.
The Jacks not afraid to jack it up as they've already numerous shots from behind the arc.
Well, they are 2 of 8, so in fact, both teams are 2 of 8 so far from the floor. By my puny math, that's 25%.
The Jacks 0 for 4 from the three-point line.
Johnson being washed by Sealer.
Pressure continues by Sealer, but Johnson continues to handle it pretty well.
Nice turnaround jumper by Tina Moen, the freshman from Oslo, Norway, who's on the floor for the first time. And it's a 7-4 Mastodon lead. Sealer comes back, misses the tray, and knocking the ball out of bounds was South Dakota State. Substitution, Ashley Muckenhern back in. We've been told South Dakota State will play a 10-person rotation here tonight.
Well, with the way they play, I can see why Coach Johnson would want to do that as they get up and down the floor almost every time they have the opportunity.
Jenna Lewis Carlisle with a pull-up jumper, her first points of the night. And IPFW has ripped off 9 points in a row. They lead by 5.
Back-to-back baskets for the Dons. Moen and JLC really with 2 difficult shots as the Jacks had a hand in their face, but that didn't stop them from making 2 17-footers.
Got a whistle now, another traveling call. Second straight time that the Jackrabbits have been called. And Aaron Johnston calls a 30-second timeout. It's coming with 14:19 left in the first half. Dan, you see your team up by 4, now you're down by 5. What do you think Coach Johnston is saying right now?
I think he's telling them, you know, we got to handle their pressure. IPFW has come out with some tenacious defense, jumping all over the place, flying to the basketball, and really closing out hard on the shooters, which is making it difficult for the Jacks to get good looks at the basket.
Here's a replay of that last move by Jonna Lewis Carlisle. She is so quick.
Carlisle got the defender going back on her feet and saw the opportunity and pulled up and hit the shot in her face.
And you saw a brief shot of Chris Paul, was kneeling down right in front of our location. Ashley Johnson being watched by Heather Sealer.
And again, she's going right at the pressure. She's not going to let them get to her. She's going to go after them.
Lewis Carlisle, a little strong. Rebound pulled down by Jennifer Warkentine. Stacy Oystad, also number 30 in the lineup for the Jackrabbits. Oh, nearly a steal by O'Connell, came right back to Warkentine.
The Dons continuing to fly around on the defensive end, and there's a touch on the ball, and AJ's got it.
Good double team by Moen and Huna. AJ loses the basketball, thought she was fouled. She's down, and she's still down. Sealer goes all the way, shots missed. Now time is going to be called. Ashley Johnson slowly getting up at the other end.
AJ appears to be all right, tough competitor. One that you always want out on the floor, and it's good to see her walking up, doing fine.
Foul was called on Julianne Huna, her first, team second. And at the line, knocking down the first free throw is Heather Sealer. The first South Dakota State free throw of the night.
Appears to be a pretty physical game so far as Ashley Johnson got bumped a little bit, but no whistle. And the refs seem to be letting them play.
Second free throw good as well. Sealer out. Andrea Vertigan, number 4, back in. Our score 9-6. 13.5 minutes to go here in the first half.
The Jacks continue with their full court pressure, but Johnson continues to handle it pretty well.
Johnny Lewis Carlisle into Huna on the block. Give and go. Oh, it's Nan Moore. And Huna. Huna, turnaround shot, no good. No foul called. Rebound pulled down by Warkentine.
And again, Huna appeared to get bumped, but no call was made.
There's a shot off the glass and in, and foul's going to be called on IPFW. And Tina Moen's going to pick up the foul, her first, and it's, I'm not so sure, it's basketball as opposed to perhaps female football.
Yeah, it's pretty physical out there, but you know, that's good to see here early in the game. Both teams are into it, and this looks to be a competitive battle that should go down to the last couple minutes.
I believe that was Vertigan who made both the bucket and the free throw. So we are tied at 9 as we near the 13-minute mark. Lewis Carlisle now dribbling the basketball. She likes to shake and bake. Nan Moore for three.
Great job by JLC drawing the defenders and kicking out for the wide open look.
IPFW tries to put on some pressure, but South Dakota State gets it over. Here's a baseline drive. Spin move, shot up, no good by Oistad.
And that's going to be Moen's second foul. And that's 3 straight trips. The Jacks have got the ball inside and drawn the foul by IPFW.
Tina Moen, as you said, her second straight foul. This one comes at 12:40, so just 28 seconds apart. First free throw is no good by Stacy Oistad. And trying to get Heather O'Connell to the scorer's table. Second free throw on the way, and that's good. So 1 out for Oistad.
Coach Paul was trying to make the decision on whether he wanted to keep Moen in the game, and he ended up going with O'Connell to go in for Moen, and hopefully O'Connell can get some good looks at the basket as she's a deadly three-point shooter.
And also keep it's basketball as opposed to perhaps female football.
Yeah, it's pretty physical out there, but you know, that's good to see here early in the game. Both teams are into it, and this looks to be a competitive battle that should go down to the last couple minutes.
I believe that was Vertigan who made both the bucket and the free throw. So we are tied at 9 as we near the 13-minute mark. Lewis Carlisle now dribbling the basketball. She likes to shake and bake. Nan Moore for three.
Great job by JLC drawing the defenders and kicking out for the wide open look.
IPFW tries to put on some pressure, but South Dakota State gets it over. Here's a baseline drive. Spin move, shot up, no good by Oistad.
And that's going to be Moen's second foul. And that's 3 straight trips. The Jacks have got the ball inside and drawn the foul by IPFW.
Tina Moen, as you said, her second straight foul. This one comes at 12:40, so just 28 seconds apart. First free throw is no good by Stacy Oistad. And trying to get Heather O'Connell to the scorer's table. Second free throw on the way, and that's good. So 1 out of 2 for Oistad.
Coach Paul was trying to make the decision on whether he wanted to keep Moen in the game, and he ended up going with O'Connell to go in for Moen, and hopefully O'Connell can get some good looks at the basket as she's a deadly three-point shooter.
And also keep out of further foul trouble.
Exactly.
JLC nearly loses the ball. Gets it to Johnson. 12 on the shot clock. AJ on the right side. Shake and bake time. Kicks it out to Moore. Moore with 6 on the shot clock. Back to Johnson. AJ out to John Lewis Carlisle. Off no good. 3-point attempt.
Another good look.
Nobody weak side rebounding there for IPFW. Back we go. Another baseline drive. Shot up, no good by Oistad. Loose ball. O'Connell picks it off.
Good rebound by O'Connell as she had the box out sealed down low.
These ladies are hitting each other tonight. JLC gets a friendly roll.
IPFW doing a real nice job getting in the lane. Both AJ and JLC are creating penetration, if not getting shots themselves, finding open shots for their teammates.
There's a pass off the hands of Courtney Grimsrud, number 50. And we have another timeout on the floor. We'll take a break as well. 11:37 left in the first half. Mastodons up 14-10. This is IPFW women's basketball. You're watching it on College 56 Sports.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Back here at the Gates Center. Penetration by Jonna Lewis Carlisle, and she gets the friendly roll. One of her 2 field goals here tonight.
Lewis Carlisle just getting to the lane there. You can see she had 4 jackrabbits around her, but nobody really jumped out to her, so she was open and she took the shot. Nice move by JLC.
IPFW with the basketball. AJ Ashley Johnson brings it up over midcourt. To Hillary O'Connell. To Nan Moore, nearly lost it. Picks it back up. 10 on the shot clock. Hillary O'Connell penetrates, kicks it out. 5 on the shot clock. Not sure they know. Lewis Carlisle short for the 3-point shot. Rebounded by Grimsrud. They throw it away, and IPFW is able to pick it up.
Good save by Moore, getting into AJ. Nice teamwork there from the Dons.
7 South Dakota State turnovers in this first nearly 11 minutes. And there's a whistle underneath. You notice now Starla Williams, number 15, in the lineup tonight.
Williams, solid post position there, got held and drew the foul. IPFW have a chance with the ball underneath.
The foul was on Courtney Grimsrud, her first, team third. IPFW inbounding it. And more. Watched by go switch. Williams in the low post. And she's called for a travel. Perhaps the toughest problem there. Starla took the ball and brought it down.
That, and yeah, when she brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused her to feel some pressure, and she ended up traveling with the basketball.
So here comes South Dakota State trailing by 4, but with the basketball. Ferdigan. Foul's going to be called before the shot was taken.
JLC with a bit of a reach there. Vertigan drove past her, and JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on Jonna Lewis Carlisle. 5th team foul. Jackrabbits are only inbounded. Fogle thought about a 3. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14-12.
The Dons pushing in transition.
Nice give and go from JL. Perhaps the toughest problem there. Starla took the ball and brought it down.
That, and yeah, when she brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused her to feel some pressure, and she ended up traveling with the basketball.
So here comes South Dakota State trailing by 4, but with the basketball. Ferdigan. Foul's going to be called before the shot was taken.
JLC with a bit of a reach there. Vertigan drove past her, and JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on Jonna Lewis Carlisle. Fifth team foul. Jackrabbits only inbounded. Vogel thought about a three. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14 to 12.
The Dons pushing in transition.
Travel. Perhaps the toughest problem there. Starler took the ball and brought it down.
That and yeah, when you brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on Johnny Lewis Carlisle. Fifth team foul. Jackrabbits only inbounded. Vogel thought about a three. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14 to 12.
The Dons pushing in transition.
Nice give and go. Perhaps the toughest problem there. Starler took the ball and brought it down.
That and yeah, when you brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused to feel some pressure, and she ended up traveling with the basketball.
So here comes South Dakota State trailing by 4, but with the basketball. Vertigan. Foul's going to be called before the shot was taken.
JLC with a bit of a reach there. Vertigan drove past her, and JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on Johnny Lewis Carlisle. Fifth team foul. Jackrabbits only inbounded. Vogel thought about a three. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14 to 12.
The Dons
called for a travel. Perhaps the toughest problem there. Starler took the ball and brought it down.
That and yeah, when you brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused Starlet to feel some pressure, and she ended up traveling with the basketball.
So here comes South Dakota State trailing by 4, but with the basketball. Vertigan. Foul's going to be called before the shot was taken.
JLC with a bit of a reach there. Vertigan drove past her, and JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on Johnny Lewis Carlisle. Fifth team foul. Jackrabbits only inbounded. Vogel thought about a three. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14 to 12.
The Dons pushing in transition.
Nice give and go from JLC to Julie. There, Starler took the ball and brought it down.
That and yeah, when you brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused to feel some pressure, and she ended up traveling with the basketball.
So here comes South Dakota State trailing by 4, but with the basketball. Vertigan. Foul's going to be called before the shot was taken.
JLC with a bit of a reach there. Vertigan drove past her, and JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on Johnny Lewis Carlisle. Fifth team foul. Jackrabbits only inbounded. Vogel thought about a three. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14 to 12.
The Dons pushing in transition.
Nice give and go. Perhaps the toughest problem there. Starler took the ball and brought it down.
That and yeah, when you brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused Starlet to feel some pressure, and she ended up traveling with the basketball.
So here comes South Dakota State trailing by 4, but with the basketball. Vertigan. Foul's going to be called before the shot was taken.
JLC with a bit of a reach there. Vertigan drove past her, and JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on Johnny Lewis Carlisle. Fifth team foul. Jackrabbits only inbounded. Vogel thought about a three. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14 to 12. Called for a travel. Perhaps the toughest problem there. Starlip took the ball and brought it down.
That and yeah, when you brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused to feel some pressure, and she ended up traveling with the basketball.
So here comes South Dakota State trailing by 4, but with the basketball. Ferdigan. Foul's going to be called before the shot was taken.
JLC with a bit of a reach there. Vertigan drove past her, and JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on John Lewis Carlisle. 5th team foul. Jackrabbits are only inbounded. Fogle thought about a 3. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14 to 12.
The Dons pushing in transition.
Nice give and go from JLC to Julianne Hoon. There, Starlip took the ball and brought it down.
That and yeah, when you brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused Starlip to feel some pressure, and she ended up traveling with the basketball.
So here comes South Dakota State trailing by 4, but with the basketball. Ferdigan. Foul's going to be called before the shot was taken.
JLC with a bit of a reach there. Vertigan drove past her, and JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on John Lewis Carlisle. 5th team foul. Jackrabbits are only inbounded. Fogle thought about a 3. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14 to 12.
The Dons pushing in transition.
Nice give. Perhaps the toughest problem there. Starlip took the ball and brought it down.
That and yeah, when you brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused to feel some pressure, and she ended up traveling with the basketball.
So here comes South Dakota State trailing by 4, but with the basketball. Ferdigan. Foul's going to be called before the shot was taken.
JLC with a bit of a reach there. Vertigan drove past her, and JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on John Lewis Carlisle. 5th team foul. Jackrabbits are only inbounded. Fogle thought about a 3. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14 to 12.
The Dons
called for a travel. Perhaps the toughest problem there. Starlip took the ball and brought it down.
That and yeah, when you brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused Starlip to feel some pressure, and she ended up traveling with the basketball.
So here comes South Dakota State trailing by 4, but with the basketball. Ferdigan. Foul's going to be called before the shot was taken.
JLC with a bit of a reach there. Vertigan drove past her, and JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on John Lewis Carlisle. 5th team foul. Jackrabbits are only inbounded. Fogle thought about a 3. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14 to 12.
The Dons pushing in transition.
Nice give and go from JLC to Julianne. There, Starlip took the ball and brought it down.
That and yeah, when you brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused to feel some pressure, and she ended up traveling with the basketball.
So here comes South Dakota State trailing by 4, but with the basketball. Ferdigan. Foul's going to be called before the shot was taken.
JLC with a bit of a reach there. Vertigan drove past her, and JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on John Lewis Carlisle. 5th team foul. Jackrabbits are only inbounded. Fogle thought about a 3. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14 to 12.
The The Dons pushing in transition.
Nice give and go. Perhaps the toughest problem there. Starler took the ball and brought it down.
That and, yeah, when she brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused Starla to feel some pressure, and she ended up traveling with the basketball.
So here comes South Dakota State trailing by 4, but with the basketball. Ferdigan. Foul's going to be called before the shot was taken.
JLC with a bit of a reach there. Vertigan drove past her, and JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on John Lewis Carlisle. 5th team foul. Jackrabbits are only inbounded. Fogle thought about a 3. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14-12. Called for a travel. Perhaps the toughest problem there. Starler took the ball and brought it down.
That and, yeah, when she brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused her to feel some pressure, and she ended up traveling with the basketball.
So here comes South Dakota State trailing by 4, but with the basketball. Ferdigan. Foul's going to be called before the shot was taken.
JLC with a bit of a reach there. Vertigan drove past her, and JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on John Lewis Carlisle. 5th team foul. Jackrabbits are only inbounded. Fogle thought about a 3. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14-12.
The Dons pushing in transition.
Nice give and go from JLC to Julianne Hook. There, Starler took the ball and brought it down.
That and, yeah, when she brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused Starla to feel some pressure, and she ended up traveling with the basketball.
So here comes South Dakota State trailing by 4, but with the basketball. Ferdigan. Foul's going to be called before the shot was taken.
JLC with a bit of a reach there. Vertigan drove past her, and JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on John Lewis Carlisle. 5th team foul. Jackrabbits are only inbounded. Fogle thought about a 3. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14-12.
The Dons pushing in transition.
Nice give and go. Perhaps the toughest problem there. Starler took the ball and brought it down.
That and, yeah, when she brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused her to feel some pressure, and she ended up traveling with the basketball.
So here comes South Dakota State trailing by 4, but with the basketball. Ferdigan. Foul's going to be called before the shot was taken.
JLC with a bit of a reach there. Vertigan drove past her, and JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on John Lewis Carlisle. 5th team foul. Jackrabbits are only inbounded. Fogle thought about a 3. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14-12.
The Dons
called for a travel. Perhaps the toughest problem there. Starler took the ball and brought it down.
That and, yeah, when she brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused her to feel some pressure, and she ended up traveling with the basketball.
So here comes South Dakota State trailing by 4, but with the basketball. Ferdigan. Foul's going to be called before the shot was taken.
JLC with a bit of a reach there. Vertigan drove past her, and JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on John Lewis Carlisle. 5th team foul. Jackrabbits are only inbounded. Fogle thought about a 3. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14-12. Called for a travel. Perhaps the toughest problem there. Starlip took the ball and brought it down.
That and, yeah, when you brought it down, the wing defender came down to try to get a hand on it, and which caused to feel some pressure, and she ended up traveling with the basketball.
So here comes South Dakota State trailing by 4, but with the basketball. Vertigan. Foul's going to be called before the shot was taken.
JLC with a bit of a reach there. Vertigan drove past her, and JLC was forced to commit the foul.
First foul on John Lewis Carlisle. 5th team foul. Jackrabbits are only inbounded. Vogel thought about a 3. Kicks it back out to Meyer. Now inside. Gilbert double teamed. Walks and makes the bucket. Persistence pays off for Christina Gilbert. Cuts the lead to 2, 14-12.
The Dons pushing in transition.
Nice give and go from JLC to Julianne Huna. And Julianne now with 4 points.
Huna, nice quick release on the layup. JLC again creating the penetration in addition to one of her teammates. Nice play.
Quick ball movement by South Dakota State. Nearly a steal by Johnson.
The defensive pressure continues for the Dons.
7 on the shot clock. South Dakota State looking. Vertigan. Ball now loose on the floor. IPFW has it.
Great D by the Dons. They're zooming out to the ball. Tenacious defense. Great job.
Johnny Lewis Carlisle wants to shake and bake. AJ in the lane. Shot up. No. With the rebound.
Another good look for the Dons as AJ was able to create the penetration. That's something that Chris Paul should look to continue with the Lady Dons this evening.
Again, perimeter movement by South Dakota State. 3-point shot on the way. No good, but Gilbert with the putback. She knocks it in and she's fouled. Natalie Sarda had missed the 3-point opportunity.
One thing with playing a zone defense, Mike, is it's sometimes tough to find who you're going to box out when you're in a zone. And Gilbert was able to kind of sneak in a seam there and get the putback.
4 points for Christina Gilbert. Chance for a conventional 3-point play. No good is the free throw, but the loose ball is picked off by Vogel. Offensive rebound, and now we're going to have a foul, I believe, called on Nan Moore, and all of a sudden IPFW is racking up fouls at an alarming rate.
Well, when you give up an offensive rebound like that, your first instinct is you want to steal the ball because you're a little bit upset that you didn't get the rebound yourself. And really there was 3 IPFW players around there slapping at the ball, and Moore was the one that ended up getting the foul called on her.
Nan's first, but more importantly, the team's 7th. So with 8:54 left in the first half, South Dakota State in the bonus situation. Vogel's first free throw is perfect.
You know what? The only negative part about the defense so far is when you're playing this tough. You want to create steals so much that you almost are forced in a situation where you're being fouled.
Second free throw is good as well, and we are tied at 16. 4 points now for Megan Vogel. She's averaging nearly 15.5 points per contest. Jenny Green wants to try to do some driving. She tries to hit more with the pass, but the ball's knocked out of bounds, and IPFW gets a break. They retain possession.
Coach Paul going back with Tina Moen with 2 fouls. Hopefully she can play careful so she doesn't pick up her third too quickly here in the first half.
AJ looking for a gray jersey that's open. Gets it back to Nan Moore near midcourt. Back to AJ. 12 on the shot clock. We're tied 16 apiece here with 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. AJ in the lane, penetrates, pops one in, and her second field goal of the night. And right away, a foul is called. That's on AJ, her first, team 9th, and much to the chagrin of Chris Paul, another foul called on IPFW.
AJ just, fired up after a basket, trying to make a play on the basketball, ended up getting the foul called on her.
Heather Sealer at the stripe. In, out, and in again. That's now 3 free throws in a row.
Sealer's 0 for 3, but she's hit some free throws.
Bonus free throw. In and out, no good. Fight for the rebound. And it's still fought for. Huna gets it to Moen. Dons, still have a 1-point lead.
Great hustle play by Huna to get the basketball.
Pull-up jumper by Tina is good.
That's the jump shot Tina Moen's made, and you can obviously see why Chris Paul wanted her back in the game. She's now 2 for 2.
Saturday. And she was 6 for 8 from the floor against Pan American. Shots just like that.
Moen is a player that, and there's a steal by Moore.
Off the deflection from AJ. Huna, top of the key. For Moen, and not the best of passes. Here comes South Dakota State. Sealer kicks it back. Top of the key, they move it on the perimeter.
Chris Paul instructing his defenders to keep his hands up.
Shot up and in by Gilbert. She's got 6. And it's 20-19. Again, the lead cut to 1. AJ wants to penetrate. She can't. Gives it to Moore. Moen, watched by Sealer.
The Dons continue to do their drive and kick offense here.
Huna for 3, no good. Rebounded by Sealer. Here comes the Jackrabbits. Chance to retake the lead. Gilbert been in that lane for a long time. Misses the bunny. Pushes off on Huna. No call.
Good D by Huna. Didn't go for any shot fakes. Had her hand up and was able to force the missed shot.
Now it's a bad pass by Moore. Here's Sealer. Moen doesn't want to foul. Missed the shot. Moore with the rebound. Dons dodged 2 bullets there. No bucket by SDSU and no foul on Tina Moen.
Moen, a great job knowing that she has 2 fouls, making sure she didn't commit the foul, but also got a hand up to force the miss.
Jenny Green has the ball taken away from her. A lot of turnovers now. 13 between the 2 teams. Back comes South Dakota State. 3-point shot up and in by Megan Vogel. Her first tray. She now has 7. And Chris Paul says, I want to call a timeout.
The Dons got a little bit lost there in the zone as Vogel, who's a key factor for the Jackrabbits offense, got an open 3.
For tickets to IPFW athletic events, call 260-481-6000, or you can go to the IPFW Athletics website. It's at www.ipfw.edu/athletics. Tickets are available for individual events, or mini-season ticket packages are still available for the remainder of the men's and women's basketball seasons. Again, the phone number 260-481-6000, or go on www.ipfw.edu/athletics. Well, 5:59 the time when Chris Paul calls his first of his 5 allotted timeouts.
What Coach Paul was probably stressing during that timeout is that although in a zone, you need to find the shooters, and certainly Vogel's one that you need to contest all shots from. No uncontested looks for her.
AJ with the basketball. 12 in the shot. Boyd, turnaround jumper, no good. Rebounded by Oistad. Back comes South Dakota State. They lead 22-20. Oistad for 3, no good.
Great box out by O'Connell.
Johnson with the board. Here comes AJ up the floor. Fire in her eye. Jenny Green for 3. No good. O'Connell gets the offensive rebound. IPFW doing a much better job on the offensive glass the last several games.
O'Connell, not normally her role, normally a shooter, but tonight making her presence known on the offensive glass.
Moen, turnaround jumper, yes!
Moen with her 3rd basket of the night. And, you know, she's a great player to have in there because not only does she have some size, but with that size, she has some quickness. That's a very tough matchup for the Jackrabbits.
Here's a drive, no good, but Gilbert with the offensive rebound, put back up and in. IPFW's got to do something with Christina Gilbert. She now has 8 points.
Again, Gilbert found another seam in the zone, and again, that's one of the problems with playing zone. We'll see what the Dons continue to do here in the first half.
Ball knocked out of bounds, and we've got a timeout on the floor. 4:33 left. 24-22, the visitors from South Dakota State with the lead. We'll take a break. You're watching IPFW Women's Basketball on Couch 56 Sports. We are back, and as you see a replay, Dan Beret, of Tina Moen with that pull-up jumper that she's improving on.
All 3 of Moen's shots have been contested, but Moen with the good leaping ability, be able to get the shot over the defender.
You see Mastodon, mascot, entertaining the fans here. IPFW cheerleaders as well. I mentioned at the start of the telecast, this is the 3rd of the 6-game season-ending homestand for IPFW. They defeated Texas Pan American last Saturday afternoon, a game you saw here on Channel 56, by a score of 62-46. And then Tuesday night, they knocked off Wayne State out of Detroit by a score of 80-51.
Well, Mike, as I mentioned in the pregame, the Lady Dons have been playing with a lot more energy of late, and they're continuing that tonight, and that's why this game is so close. They're playing very well.
They trail by 2, but they have the basketball. Moen, another pull-up jumper. That one's a little short. Rebounded by Muckenhern. Sealer, skip pass. Oh, give and go. Gilbert, off the rim, no. Gets her own rebound, kicks it out. Sealer for 3. That's short.
Moen ripped to the floor. Good positioning there, and that's going to be a foul on the Jacks.
And that foul is on Christina Gilbert, her 2nd. That's only the 4th team foul. And Vertigan's back on the floor for Sealer. And I believe Grimsrud's back on the floor for Gilbert.
Vertigan not wasting any time on full court on AJ.
It's a 4-point Jackrabbit lead. Keep possession, Dan, for IPFW.
Yeah, this is, I believe, the largest lead for the Jackrabbits. A very important possession, as you said, Mike, for the Lady Dons.
Johnny Lewis Carlisle stops, pops, no good. Rebounded by Warkentine to Vertigan. Skip pass, cross court. Inside, Warkentine on Moen, shot up, no good. O'Connell with the rebound.
Great box out by O'Connell, and even better defense by Moen as she kept her hands up and didn't commit the foul, but also got a great contest on the shot.
Chris Paul telling AJ to slow the action down a little bit. 15 on the shot clock. 2:49 on the game clock. Moen tries to force a shot. They're going to call a jump ball. And should belong to IPFW when we return. Now 2:46 left in the half. We'll take a break. It's 26-22 Jackrabbits. You're watching IPFW Women's Basketball on Couch 56 Sports.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best.
And make you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stomp Band is looking for more members, and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stomp.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center, along with Dan Beret, graduate assistant for the IPFW men's basketball team. This is Mike Maz. We are down to just 2 minutes and 46 seconds remaining here in the first half. The visitors from South Dakota State lead IPFW 26-22. Hillary O'Connell will inbound the basketball for IPFW. They need a bucket in the worst way, and they've only got 5 seconds on the shot clock. O'Connell forces one up, no good. And Johnson pops one up. Yes, counted at the...
What a play by A.J. Coach Paul drew up to try to get Hillary O'Connell a shot. She had to force one because of the shot clock. Johnson, a great rebound and an even better putback as the shot clock was winding down.
Three-point shot missed. Offensive board by Warkentine, driving on Huna off the glass and in. Jennifer Warkentine with her first points. South Dakota State being tenacious on the boards. It's 28-24. 2:05 left in the first half. Oh, they're going to call a traveling call on O'Connell as she and Vogel going at it. Dan, let's be honest. There is no love lost between these two teams.
No, it's not, and this has been a battle through and through, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in this last 2 minutes and 5 seconds in the half. It'll prove very crucial for IPFW to stay with the Jackrabbits.
Andrea Vertigan gives it off, gets it back, drives the lane. And they're going to call a 3-second call, says Ron Applegate.
Johnson going over to Chris Paul to get the signal from the bench, trying to figure out what offensive set they're going to set up right now.
10 turnovers now on South Dakota State. IPFW's turned it over 7 times. Nan Moore back on the floor to Huna on the post. Driving down, spin move, shot up, no. Rebounded by Muckenhern. Outlet, Vertigan wants to drive on Johnson, cut off. Move it around. Inside. Give and go. Vogel.
The Dons continue with their zone and jumping out to the shooters.
10 in the shot clock. Trying to muscle in on Huna. Blocked by Huna. Jump ball. Grimsrud.
Coach Paul is a little upset with the call, and you can see why. The ball was loose when they made the call. Huna with the deflection on the play and then was able to grab the ball, but the ref saw something else and called it jump ball, and it'll belong to the Jacks.
1:16 left. And I don't know if it's a mechanical problem at the scorer's table or what.
Notice, Mike, there's only 6 seconds on the shot clock, and Jenny Green is barking out commands to her teammates. Hopefully the Dons can get a stop here.
Pass is inbounded. We move it around. Oh, a forced up three. Oh my, 1 second on the shot clock. And Muckenhern knocks down a tray. Scored the last 5 Jackrabbit points. It's 31-24. We're under a minute.
That's a key play. That may not have been a jump ball, and Coach Paul is pretty upset with the officials right now.
Huna with a pick. Give and go. Julianne up. Count it. She's fouled.
Great pick and roll. Huna having the instincts to roll to the basket. AJ hit her with a nice pass. Huna drove the contact but made the basket as well. Great play for the Lady Dons.
Foul was on Vogel, Megan's second. Big free throw coming up for Julianne Huna. Can cut the lead to 4 with just under 48 seconds to go in a half. Free throw up, no good. Rebounded by Grimsrud. Jackrabbits on the run. Vertigan, cut off by O'Connell. Grimsrud, she travels.
The Dons' pressure forced her to travel. That was good to see. The Dons will get another chance. They'll probably play for 1 shot, even though there is a 4-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock.
It was still almost not quite imperative. IPFW 4 on this possession. They're down by 5. Johnson being harassed by Andrea Vertigan. Down to 20 seconds.
Johnson calling for the play 4 down, which I believe is a one-on-one penetration opportunity for her to drive and kick.
Spin move, kicks it out, O'Connell. She is cut off inside for Green. Loose ball, and it's picked up by South Dakota State. 5 seconds left. And are they going to get a shot off? Ball's knocked away. Grimsrud up, no good, and that's the end of the half. And wow, what a first 20 minutes of action, Dan.
Well, Mike, it was the battle that we thought it was going to be. Both teams pressuring the ball extremely well, which has caused both offensively for both teams to be turning the ball over a little bit. This is going to be a battle through and through, as you can see, Mike.
Now both teams sitting in a locker room. It's halftime. We will take a break. Back and recap this first half at the break. It's the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State 31, the Mastodons of IPFW 26. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching IPFW Women's Basketball on College 56 Sports.
Pizza! I must eat. Wait, what is this? Capsicum anum? Agaricus bisporus? Allium cepa?
Can we eat this?
Peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Eat your pizza, man. Honey.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Happy spring! It's time to think of chocolate eggs and Easter bunnies.
And we're thinking about children in town who would like to be a part of the fun.
We're the alumni directors of the area colleges and universities.
Each year we adopt an area school and provide filled Easter baskets for all the students.
We need 500 baskets.
Please consider donating filled wrapped Easter baskets for this very worthy cause.
Remember, all the items in the basket need to be wrapped and not homemade.
Then the entire basket should be wrapped.
You can drop off your baskets up until April 6th at any one of our colleges or universities.
With your help, we'll make 500 children's spring a bit brighter this year.
Oh, yes, to the 40, to the 50, to the 40 of Dedham. He's going down the sideline, and it's a...
If legislation being considered now in the U.S. Congress passes, you won't see your local team or your government or local events and news on this TV channel. Telecom giants want to end the funding source for this and other local channels, and with such action, end your rights to watch or produce local programming. Don't let local access become won't see TV. Go to SaveMyFreeSpeech.net or AllianceCM.org now and learn how you can help. Become informed and contact your representatives in Washington. The time for your action is now. Otherwise, this is all you'll see here soon.
Remember, all the items in the basket need to be wrapped and not homemade.
Then the entire basket should be wrapped.
You can drop off your baskets up until April 6th at any one of our colleges or universities.
With your help, we'll make 500 children's spring a bit brighter this year.
Oh, yes, to the 40, to the 50, to the 40 of Dedham. He's going down the sideline, and it's a...
If legislation being considered now in the U.S. Congress passes, you won't see your local team or your government or local events and news on this TV channel. Telecom giants want to end the funding source for this and other local channels, and with such action, end your rights to watch or produce local programming. Don't let local access become won't see TV. Go to SaveMyFreeSpeech.net or AllianceCM.org now and learn how you can help. Become informed and contact your representatives in Washington. The time for your action is now. Otherwise, this is all you'll see here soon.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW, along with Dan Beret, who's the graduate assistant for the IPFW men's basketball team. This is Mike Maas, and Dan, the first 20 minutes of action are in the books, and it's been more like a football game or maybe a women's hockey game than a basketball game. As both teams have had the lead on several occasions, but here at the break, it's South Dakota State up by 5, 31-26. Initial impressions of the first half.
It's pretty much what we thought it was going to be, Mike. The Dons have been playing with a lot of energy, as we mentioned, versus both Texas Pan American and Wayne State. And they came out with that same energy tonight, and that's what they needed against the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State.
Well, the Jackrabbits scored the first 2 baskets of the ball game, and IPFW went on a 9-0 run to establish at least temporary momentum and control, and then things started evening out. Jackrabbits drew a little bit closer, and IPFW finally had the game tied with the 8:38 mark, 16 apiece on a couple of free throws by Megan Vogel. The Dons retook the lead, and they actually led 20-19 until Vogel again knocked down a 3-point shot. She's averaging nearly 16 points and nearly 7 rebounds a game, and we've seen her be able to hit both shots from in close and from outside here in the first half.
Yeah, she's playing very well. What I think was a key possession was that jump ball. Dons were down 4, and they appeared to have a steal on the play. The ref signaled a jump ball, and they come back, the Jacks, and they hit a 3 to take a 7-point lead. Fortunately, IPFW got a great pass into Huna, and they were able to get a 2-pointer, really a foul, but weren't able to get the 3-point play.
Well, one thing that we both noticed, and I said it earlier, it's obvious there's no love lost between these two schools, or these two teams, we should say, as both coaches have been looking somewhat eerily at the other coach, and the players are jostling on the floor. Bodies have hit the floor left and right from both teams, and that's the inference to either football or women's hockey.
Yeah, it really is, and it's good to see both teams playing very competitive tonight, which is what we expected after the Dons played pretty well in Brookings, having the lead really with 15 minutes to play. So South Dakota State knew they were in for a fight, and that's why Coach Johnston and the Lady Jacks are fighting right now.
I have to ask you, because the men's team played South Dakota State earlier in the week. You also played them at their place, and the men's team won both games somewhat rather convincingly. Was it as fiercely a contested games with the men's team, those two games, as opposed to what we're seeing here tonight?
It was. South Dakota State, their men's team is a very feisty group. They actually do have a couple football players on their team, so you can imagine the physical presence that they bring. And we were fortunate to get 2 wins against South Dakota State, who is a very good basketball team.
Well, we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we hope to have some highlights perhaps and some stats to talk about as well. But again, it's intermission time. At the half, IPFW trails South Dakota State 31-26. Back with more here from the Hilliard Gate Sports Center in a moment, right here on College 56 Sports.
You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales, you're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Happy spring! It's time to think of chocolate eggs and Easter bunnies.
And we're thinking about children in town who would like to be a part of the fun.
We're the alumni directors of the area colleges and universities.
Each year we adopt an area school and provide filled Easter baskets for all the students.
We need 500 baskets.
Please consider donating filled wrapped Easter baskets for this very worthy cause.
Remember, all the items in the basket need to be wrapped and not homemade.
Then the entire basket should be wrapped.
You can drop off your baskets up until April 6th at any one of our colleges or universities.
With your help, we'll make 500 children's spring a bit brighter this year.
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stomp Band is looking for more members, and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stomp.
We are back here at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center along with Dan Beret. This is Mike Maz. Again, it is halftime of our women's basketball game featuring the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State and IPFW. And the South Dakota State Jackrabbits lead by a score of 31-26. We're going to see some highlights here in a moment, Dan, but I should mention that South Dakota State is a little bit like IPFW. They are an independent.
Right.
They are completing their second of their 4-year, I guess you want to call it, indoctrination period. Now let's look at some highlights, and the first one is of Ashley Johnson taking it coast to coast.
Johnson did a great job. Her and JLC really did a great job penetrating, and if they didn't have a look themselves, they were able to find their teammates. I think Coach Paul's probably telling them in the locker room right now, let's look to continue the penetration as you see JLC finding more for a wide open three. When you can spread the ball to your teammates like that, it's always good for a coach to see.
Again, AJ doing what she does best, penetrate, draw the defense towards her.
Here we're going to see a great play from AJ, knowing the shot clock was running out. She takes one dribble, fires up a little floater, and got the basket for a big IPFW basket to cut it to 2.
Good give and go there. Julianne Huna up and in. Johnny Lewis Carlisle, the quickest of IPFW attempts. South Dakota State 2 of 11.
With the ability that JLC and AJ have had to go to the basket, the South Dakota defenders haven't really been collapsing as well as Coach Johnson would like, and they're able to get some good looks in the lane.
Other numbers, assists favors IPFW 5-2. Dons have been out-rebounded 25-15. Turnovers 11-8. South Dakota State with more. And I've momentarily bypassed an important stat, free throws. Look at that, South Dakota State 7 of 10 at the line. IPFW just 1 of 2. And that's something Chris Paul talked about before the start of the game. When these two teams played in South Dakota, IPFW was only 4 of 8 at the line, and South Dakota State was 20 of 27. You expect a little bit of a disparity home and away, but here tonight for IPFW to only have 2 free throws, that's a shock.
Stats are pretty surprising. Reason being, IPFW is driving the basketball a lot. You would expect to see them picking up a couple more fouls. But one thing that the South Dakota State Jackrabbits are doing is they're getting a lot of offensive rebounds, and on the putbacks is where the fouls are really coming. They're drawing contact and able to draw some fouls on IPFW.
Well, real briefly, individually, leading the way for South Dakota State, it's Christina Gilbert with 8.7 for Megan Vogel. For IPFW, Ashley Johnson with 7. Tina Moan and Julianne Huna with 6 apiece. And there you see Andrea Vertigan with 5 points as well. Real briefly, Dan, what does IPFW got to do in the second half to turn this thing around?
Well, I'm assuming Coach Paul's going to continue the 2-3 zone, but one thing that they're going to need to do is rebound the basketball a little bit better. They're getting out-rebounded 25-15. And what the Jacks are able to do is find some seams on the zone. And if the Dons can control the rebounding, I think they have a great shot at winning this basketball game.
Well, we will take our final halftime break and then get ready for the second half of action. Again, at the intermission, it is South Dakota State 31, IPFW 26. Back with more IPFW women's basketball in just a few moments right here on College 56 Sports.
Are you in there? What's up? The show's at 7. Whoa.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stomp Band is looking for more members, and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stomp.
Happy spring! It's time to think of chocolate eggs and Easter bunnies.
And we're thinking about children in town who would like to be a part of the fun.
We're the alumni directors of the area colleges and universities.
Each year we adopt an area school and provide filled Easter baskets for all the students.
We need 500 baskets.
Please consider donating filled wrapped Easter baskets for this very worthy cause.
Remember, all the items in the basket need to be wrapped and not homemade.
Then the entire basket should be wrapped. You can drop off your baskets up until April 6th at any one of our colleges or universities.
With your help, we'll make 500 children's spring a bit brighter this year.
Back here at the Gate Center. Before we start the second half of play, we want to acknowledge a sponsor of IPFW women's basketball, Big Daddy's Pizza, provided the College 56 sports crew with some scrumptious pizza before tonight's game. Big Daddy's. They have locations on East State Street, the rear entrance to the Acme, on West Jefferson, and on East DuPont Road in the DuPont Village West. So thanks to Big Daddy's for feeding the College 56 production crew here tonight. Second half going to start IPFW with the ball. Going to have Julianne Huna along with Tina Moen, Hillary O'Connell, Ashley Johnson, and Johnny Lewis Carlisle on the floor. And here we go. Let's see what adjustments was made. Start this second half. Moen pops one home.
Well, one adjustment Chris Paul made right from the start. He started Moen in the second half, something he didn't do at the start of the game. And right away that pays off as she goes in for another basket.
Vogel wants to drive on Moen. Shot blocked by Huna. Jump ball forced.
Again, the ball was a little bit loose, and that didn't appear to be a jump ball. And Coach Paul is again in the referee's ears, trying to make his presence and his impact known in this basketball game.
I get the feeling before this game is over, somebody's going to draw a T.
We'll see about that, Mike.
Sealer, watched by Johnson, to Vogel. Vogel driving on Moen. Left-hand shot, no good. Huna with the board. Julianne doing a great job with the block out.
Mike, the other obvious change that Coach Paul has made is the Dons have come out in man-to-man defense, looking to maybe increase their pressure even more.
Pass intended for Huna, knocked away, picked up by Gilbert. Here come the Jackrabbits. They're up by 3. Vogel, top of the key, kicks it out to Vertigan. Vertigan gives it to Heather Sealer, number 20. We played just over a minute. Shot blocked by Huna. Jump ball forced.
Again, the ball was a little bit loose, and that didn't appear to be a jump ball. And Coach Paul is again in the referee's ears, trying to make his presence and his impact known in this basketball game.
I get the feeling before this game is over, somebody's going to draw a T.
We'll see about that, Mike.
Sealer, watched by Johnson, to Vogel. Vogel driving on Moen. Left-hand shot, no good. Huna with the board. Julianne doing a great job with the block out.
Mike, the other obvious change that Coach Paul has made is the Dons have come out in man-to-man defense, looking to maybe increase their pressure even more.
Pass intended for Huna, knocked away, picked up by Gilbert. Here come the Jackrabbits. They're up by 3. Vogel, top of the key, kicks it out to Vertigan. Vertigan gives it to Heather Sealer, number 20. We played just over a minute here in the second half. IPFW with the only point so far, a basket by Tina Moen. 5 on the shot clock. Baseline drive by Vogel, shot up, gets the friendly bounce and in. Vogel now with 9.
Put in the quick defender, Tina Moen on Vogel. We'll have to watch that matchup all half.
Pull-up shot, Moen off the back of the iron, no. Vertigan with the rebound. Ball knocked out of bounds. Good effort by Tina Moen.
As I mentioned earlier, Mike, when you miss a shot or when you miss a rebound, you have the tendency to kind of go ahead and make some one-on-one pressure yourself. Moen did that time and was able to get a hand on the basketball.
Big possession for South Dakota State. They lead by 5. Sealer, bounce pass to Vogel. Vogel wants to drive. They want to get that third foul on Tina Moen. No good.
Vogel's looking to drive every time she touches it. Moen with some good defense there.
JLC shaking and baking. Gets it back to Ashley Johnson right in front of us. 17 on the shot clock. Ashley Johnson watched by Heather Sealer.
Coach Paul screaming the offense that he wants.
Bounce pass, Huna, shot off the glass, counting, she's fouled!
Huna with her second and one of the night. Hopefully she can convert on this free throw to cut the lead to 2, 33-31, Jacks.
Foul is going to be on Heather Gilbert, her third, first of the second half. Julianne Huna with her fourth field goal.
Huna, the other member of the Dons that's out on the floor other than Moen that did not start this basketball game. So as you can see, Coach Paul's changes are making impact right away as Moen and Huna both getting baskets early in this second half.
Julianne Huna at the line. 62% foul shooter, but she knocks that one down cleanly. She has 9 points now here tonight, and the lead is cut to 2, 33-31.
The Dons will look to get a stop with a chance to take the ball and tie this basketball game up with a 2 or take the lead with a 3.
Turnaround shot, no good. Jenna Lewis Carlisle with the foul, and she is fouled by Vertigan, who's not happy.
You know, Mike, I think they might have called her out of bounds there. It did appear to be a foul, but they say JLC was out of bounds.
And let's see what happens here right off the get-go. A pass to Muckenhern, and Andrea gets her third field goal of the night. She has 7 points. Lead back up to 4. O'Connell and Muckenhern. Is it to Lewis Carlisle? Three-pointer on the way, off the rim, no! Fight for the rebound.
Huna battled for it, couldn't come away with it. Here come the Jacks.
And hard when you're outnumbered 1-on-3. Sealer, skip pass to Muckenhern, and we got a whistle underneath. And I believe a 3-second call.
It was, Mike, and that's the second time the Jacks have been caught sitting in the lane. One thing the Jacks are going to have to watch is picking up their feet on the dribble, as they've almost traveled a couple times in a row.
Here come the Dons, trailing by 4. 16:43 to go.
Coach Paul continues to run set plays for the majority of this second half.
Jenna Lewis Carlisle, bounce pass for Huna, loose ball, who's got it? Still loose, diving bodies. And SDSU comes up with it, 2-on-1, outlet pass, shot up and in by Sealer. Heather Sealer with her first point, or first field goal, I should say, of the night.
Mike, I thought there might have been a kick ball in that entry pass from JLC to Huna, but the refs didn't see it that way. The Jacks able to force the turnover.
Huna wants to drive, shot up, yes.
Huna making her presence known early in this second half. She's now got 5 points. Really a post presence for the Dons.
That's 5 in the half, 11 in the game. Muckenhern cut off by Huna. They get it back outside. Vertigan fakes a 3, wants to drive. Kicks it out to Sealer. NBA 3 is good.
Sealer wasted no time. Right when she caught the ball, she knew she was open, and it didn't matter that she was 4 feet behind the arc. She pulled the trigger anyway and made it.
Sealer had 5 3-point second half baskets when these two teams played back on January 19th. The lead up to 7, 40-33. Huna to high post. Has the ball taken away. Loose ball. Julianne's got it, and there's a foul called. And it's going to be, I believe, on Sealer. And we've got time on the floor. 15-19 left. Time for everyone to catch their breath. Our score, Jackrabbits 40, Mastodons 33. You're watching IPFW Women's Basketball on College 56 Sports.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too.
19 left. Time for everyone to catch their breath. Our score, Jackrabbits 40, Mastodons 33. You're watching IPFW Women's Basketball on College 56 Sports.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too.
Time for everyone to catch their breath. Our score, Jackrabbits 40, Mastodons 33. You're watching IPFW Women's Basketball on College 56 Sports.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows.
You're watching IPFW Women's Basketball on College 56 Sports.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Happy spring! It's time to think of chocolate eggs and Easter bunnies.
And we're thinking about children in town who would like to be a part of the fun.
We're the alumni directors of the area colleges and universities.
Each year we adopt an area school and provide filled Easter baskets for all the students.
We need 500 baskets.
Please consider donating filled wrapped Easter baskets for this very worthy cause.
Remember, all the items in the basket need to be wrapped and not homemade.
Then the entire basket should be wrapped. You can drop off your baskets up until April 6th at any one of our colleges or universities.
With your help, we'll make 500 children's spring a bit brighter this year.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. A unique look, a floor-level look, so to speak. Along with Dan Beret, this is Mike Maas. South Dakota State leading 40-33. Actually, Johnson windbound it right in front of us. And the pass bounces off the hands of John Lewis Carlisle and out of bounds. An unfortunate turnover for IPFW. Now turnovers are even at a dozen apiece.
That's correct, Mike. And if we thought there was pressure in the first half, this second half, it's pretty much doubled the pressure for both teams as the Dons have picked up man-to-man and the Jacks have done the same.
Sealer cut off at the baseline, and we got a whistle underneath, and I believe an offensive player control foul. No, it's just a violation.
I believe she stepped on the end line there.
I saw a clenched fist by the one official, and normally that's a... sign that the foul's going to be called. AJ wants to shake and bake. Gives it to Nan Moore, who's back on the floor. Give and go. Huna, they're going to ride her for a long time. Shot no good, however.
Huna with a pretty good look at the basket there was unable to make a shot.
Oh, nearly a travel. Three-point shot, no good. Fight for the loose ball. Sealer gets it. South Dakota State reloads. Muckenhern at the top of the key to Sealer. Baseline drive on Lewis Carlisle. That's cut off. Muckenhern again, looking for help. 13 in the shot clock. Lob pass underneath for Grimsrud. Count it. Courtney Grimsrud with her first points of the night.
Grimsrud working a little high-low action there. Received a nice pass. Able to make the basket. And this is a very important possession for IPFW.
Well, you're reading my mind. They are down 9. Look on turnaround, spot up jumper. No, off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Ashley Muckenhern. She brings the ball up the floor herself. Now gives it to Sealer. Muckenhern.
IPFW staying with the man-to-man defense. A lot of pressure from the Dons.
South Dakota State looked for the cutter, couldn't find her. Baseline drive, shot up, no good, but they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Huna.
Yeah, they are. And, that's going to be a shooting foul. What South Dakota State is really doing right now, they're really working the ball around, waiting for a chance and an opportunity to get a real good look at the basket. They've taken the shot clock down to under 10 these last two possessions, and were able to draw the basket last time and draw the foul this time.
Jennifer Workentine misses the first of her 2 free throws. Now you got wholesale substitutions. You got Kelly Boyd and Jenny Green on the floor for IPFW. And I'm trying to see who's, I think Vogel's back on the floor, number 32.
Grimsrud working a little high-low action there. Received a nice pass. Able to make the basket. And this is a very important possession for IPFW.
Well, you're reading my mind. They are down 9. Mo looking for Tina Moe on turnaround spot Up jumper, no, off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Ashley Muckenhern. She brings the ball up the floor herself. Now gives it to Sealer. Muckenhern.
IPFW staying with the man-to-man defense. A lot of pressure from the Dons.
South Dakota State looked for the cutter, couldn't find her. Baseline drive, shot up, no good. They're going to call a foul, I believe, on Huna.
Yeah, they are. That's going to be a shooting foul. What South Dakota State is really doing right now, they're really working the ball around, waiting for a chance and an opportunity to get a real good look at the basket. They've taken the shot clock down to under 10 these last two possessions, and were able to draw the basket last time and draw the foul this time.
Jennifer Workentine misses the first of her 2 free throws. Now you got wholesale substitutions. You got Kelly Boyd and Jenny Green on the floor for IPFW. And I'm trying to see who's, I think Vogel's back on the floor, number 32. And Natalie Sarda. Second free throw is good by Workentine. She now has 3 points tonight.
Well, this is another big possession for IPFW. They go right to Moen again, and she draws the foul.
And it is Natalie Sarda, who just came on the floor, her first.
IPFW probably going to look to continue their penetration, as that's the best way for them to get open looks.
Boyd underneath. Can she go up strong? She loses off to kick it out. Baseline drive, shot up, no good. But they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Huna.
Yeah, they are. That's going to be a shooting foul. What South Dakota State is really doing right now, they're really working the ball around, waiting for a chance and an opportunity to get a real good look at the basket. They've taken the shot clock down to under 10 these last 2 possessions, and were able to draw the basket last time and draw the foul this time.
Jennifer Workentine misses the first of her 2 free throws. Now you got wholesale substitutions. You got Kelly Boyd and Jenny Green on the floor for IPFW. And I'm trying to see who's, I think Vogel's back on the floor, number 32. And Natalie Sarda. Second free throw is good by Workentine. She now has 3 points tonight.
Well, this is another big possession for IPFW. They go right to Moen again, and she draws the foul.
And it is Natalie Sarda, who just came on the floor, her first.
IPFW probably going to look to continue their penetration, as that's the best way for them to get open looks.
Boyd underneath. Can she go up strong? She loses the ball to kick it out. Kelly Boyd, tallest player on the floor at 6'5". Moen again, stops, pops, no, but she is fouled.
Moen really getting her shot off quick tonight. Hit several turnaround jumpers in the first half, and she's doing the same thing here in the second. Hopefully she can knock down these 2 free throws to cut the lead to 8.
Andrea Vertigan picks up her first foul. So here is Tina Moen at the line. Again, she's a freshman from Oslo, Norway, looking for points number 9 and 10.
One thing to note, Mike, is that in the first half at this point, the Dons were already entering themselves in a little bit of foul trouble. Now we only see 1 foul for the Dons and 4 for the Lady Jacks.
Tina Moen, 69% free throw shooter coming in. Second throw on the way, and that's good as well. Tina now in double figures with 10 points. The lead has been cut to 8, 43-35.
Hall going with a press after the free throw. The Dons looking to speed up the tempo and force a turnover.
Vertigan to Vogel. Vogel watched by Moen. Sealer.
That ball on line, but a little bit long. And the Dons able to get a chance here to cut it to 6. 5 with a 3.
South Dakota State not afraid to take a 3. Coming into this game, they had taken 586 3-point attempts on the year. Moen, turnaround jumper, short. Fight for the rebound, and it's picked up by Vogel. Vogel behind the back dribble, shot off the glass, gets the friendly rolling in.
Vogel with a nifty move. Coach Paul ran a set play for Moen. They got the look they want. She was just unable to hit the shot.
Vogel now with 11 points. The lead, 10. Another steal by Vogel. Too much quickness for Jenny Green. Oh, boy. That is an intentional foul. And I have to admit, that's the correct call. And explain to our viewers the intentional foul ramifications.
Well, I believe what they saw there was Jenny Green was not going for the basketball. More simply, she was just trying to stop her from even able to be getting a shot off. And that's what led to the call. Coach Paul is obviously upset.
Well, we have the under 12 media timeout. So as we see the replay here, Vogel going in, and you see the push right there in the back. And Tina Clark, who was the trail official, had interpreted that as a push in the back, an intentional foul. And again, I think that's 2 free throws.
Yeah, that
plus possession.
If they do stay as an intentional foul, that will be 2 free throws. One thing Green maybe should have tried to do was get her hands on the shooter, and really unable to make the shot.
Keep up with the IPFW women's basketball team each week through the season by tuning in to Chris Paul Show. It can be seen Thursdays at 10:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 noon here on College 56 Sports. Coach Paul is joined by yours truly, Mike Maas. We review recent games, talk with players and guests, and preview upcoming action. Again, that's the Chris Paul Show. Tune into it Thursdays at 10:30 and Saturdays at noon right here on College Cable Access Channel 56.
This is going to be a crucial 4-minute segment until the under 8 timeout for the Lady Dons, as they need to cut into this lead a little bit to get themselves back in this basketball game. They can't let it slip away here. They need to keep fighting with defensive intensity, and we'll see what happens.
Well, you see Chris Paul is in front of us talking with Tina Clark. Chris pleading his case, saying, why is it an intentional foul? And I have to admit, even though I do broadcast for IPFW, I feel it might have been the correct call, although some people think it might have been a travel call. First free throw is good. By Vogel.
This really an unfortunate break for the Dons, as they had made a little bit of a run, and 2 straight steals by Vogel. And now 6 straight points by Vogel, and the Dons really need to get a stop here as they're down 14 points.
Vogel now with 15 points, nearly her season average. More importantly, Jackrabbits continue to have possession of the basketball. Sealer baseline, kicks it back. Shot up, no good, but Vertigan with the offensive board, and there's a travel call. Says Ron Applegate. So let's see if the Dons can pull their straps together and get back into this game. They trail 49-35 with 11:35 to go.
Well, Mike, it seems like we've been saying it a lot, but each possession very crucial in this second half for the Dons.
Kuna has it knocked out of her hands, out of bounds.
Kuna may have been fouled there, but it looks like the defender just got a hand on the ball. It'll stay with IPFW.
You saw briefly Chris Paul talking to Ron Dressender. Get the ball back out.
Coach Paul continuing to work the officials. Hopefully we'll see some calls going IPFW's way here in the second half.
I should say, forced up shot off the rim, no. Loose ball, who's got it? It's South Dakota State, and the foul going to be called. And is it on Huna?
I believe it is, Mike, and Huna with a hustle play. Unfortunately, there was a foul called on her. That'll be the Dons' third foul, and her third foul, really. And another big possession for IPFW on the defensive side of things.
Third team foul, third personal foul on Julianne Huna, and it is check time now for IPFW. Near the 11-minute mark. Down by 14.
One thing the Lady Dons and Coach Paul have decided to do, they're going to go back to the zone and see if they can have some of that success they had in the first half.
Vogel kicks it out, wide open, baseline jumper is no good, but getting a real rebound is Warkentine, and she puts it back up and is fouled.
That's 4 on Huna.
And right now, Julianne has a lot of emotion inside of her. Has to be careful. 4 fouls, 10:51 to go. Warkentine at the line, knocks down the first. She's now 2 of 3 at the stripe tonight, 4 points overall.
They had an unfortunate break for the Dons as they missed an opportunity, gave up another offensive rebound, which is probably going to put the Jacks up 16.
Second free throw good as well.
Still plenty of basketball left, just under the 11-minute mark. Hopefully the Dons can make a little run here.
Moore, fake to three, pulls up, fires it, no good. Vogel with the rebound. Vergen outlets it, and that ball stolen by Jenny Green.
Good play by Green. Here come the Lady Dons.
Nan Moore. Tina Moen looking for Green underneath, and we got a battle between Green and Sarda.
Green fighting for post position, able to draw the foul on Sarda. And JLC is going to check back into this ball game to hopefully get some of that penetration we were seeing in the first half, which will lead to open looks for IPFW.
Sarda steps out. Gilbert back in for South Dakota State. Ashley Johnson to inbound it. Lewis Carlisle inside, forces a shot up. It's in, but no, they take it away and they call traveling instead.
JLC wasting no time, going right back to the dribble. Unfortunately, she traveled before she made a nice move. Nice move and made the shot.
So back comes South Dakota State, up by 16. Trying to put the knockout punch in right now. Gilbert wants to drive on Green. Spin move, four shot, no good. Starla Williams back in the game with the rebound.
Good D by Jenny Green there, keeping her hands up. A nice contest, able to miss the shot, and Williams got the rebound.
Foul underneath.
No, Mike, they're going to say that JLC dribbled that off her leg.
Oh, wow.
It looked like there was some definite slapping going on as she dribbled into the lane. But another unfortunate break for IPFW, and that's 2 straight turnovers by JLC.
Well, they have to fight through it with 9:44 to go. Now South Dakota. Whoa!
The Dons finally getting some stops, unable to convert on the offensive end. Let's see if they can get one more, Mike, to try to spark some type of a run here.
10 on the shot clock. Skip pass. Vertigan kicks it out to Gilbert. Gilbert drives the lane, takes it up, no good. Vogel puts it back up and in. You fight for 30 seconds and you can't come away empty-handed.
Another unfortunate break for IPFW. Played pretty good defense, but Vogel found a seam, able to get an offensive rebound.
Mentally, the IPFW Mastodons have to get control again. It has been a war. Jenny Green kicks it out. Moen, jumper, no. And over the back foul, I think, called on Ashley Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson, you can see the frustration in her face. You can tell she wants to win this basketball game so badly. And it's leading her to play a little bit out of her character, committing a couple fouls here.
I think I can safely say Ashley Johnson is the guts and glue of this basketball team. As she goes, so go the Dons. And right now she's playing very frustrated. Travel, no call. Warkentine makes the bucket. It's now 55-35. The lead is ballooned to 20.
Something the Jacks have done offensively in the second half is drove the ball a lot better than they did the first half. The first they were settling for jumpers. Now they're attacking the basket.
Moen misses. Ball goes out of bounds off the hand of Starla Williams. And it is just total frustration for IPFW right now. Julianne Hoon is going to check in at the 8:16 mark with 4 fouls, replacing senior Jenny Green.
Huna will add some size to the lineup as she replaces a smaller presence, Jenny Green. Now both Williams and Huna, and really Moen, are the size factors for the Dons.
We're down to 8:08 to go. South Dakota State with a 20-point lead in the basketball. Andrea Vertigan up top to Vogel. And Megan Vogel called for a travel. And we've got another timeout. Teams head to their respective benches. It's South Dakota State 55, IPFW 35. You're watching IPFW Women's Basketball on College 56 Sports.
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stomp Band is looking for more members and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stomp.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Here You Gauge Sports Center. You see the Stomp Band in action there. There's the IPFW bench. Again, along with Dan Beret, this is Mike Moss. 7:58 to go. And Dan, we were talking about a moment ago, there's no 20-point play, but perhaps the strategy for IPFW is to try to cut this 20-point lead in half by the next media timeout and then see what happens.
Yeah, that'll be a good goal. If you get it down to 10, you know anything can happen. A few plays can go your way, and you're right there in the game, 1 or 2 possessions.
Ferdigan, three-point shot, no. Vogel pushes off Moen, gets the offensive rebound.
And SDSU just continues to dominate the glass. They now have 40 rebounds to the Dons 19.
Wow.
IPFW really needs to start boxing out.
And they should have boxed out there as Warren was left open underneath. She now has 9 points. The lead again up to 20. Ashley Johnson pass to Huna, give and go back to AJ.
AJ passed up the 3. Here comes JLC.
Taking bake time, ball knocked away. Moen has to take it all the way to the glass, up and in.
And that's really the first time we've seen IPFW have the type of penetration that they had in the first half. JLC with a nice move and a nice finish at the basket.
Vogel kicks it out. Here's Ferdigan, three-point shot, no. Vogel pushes off Moen, gets the offensive rebound.
And SDSU just continues to dominate the glass. They now have 40 rebounds to the Dons 19.
Wow.
IPFW really needs to start boxing out.
And they should have boxed out there as Ward
up the 3. Here comes JLC.
Taking bake time, ball knocked away. Moen has it. 3 on the shot clock. JLC pops one up. No. Rebound picked up by Morgan Meyer. Here comes South Dakota State. They are in control with 6:27 to go. Ferdigan. Gilbert back up top, and they work it around. Orkentine misses the shot. Williams with the rebound.
The Jacks move the ball around nicely there, unable to convert. Nice rebound by Williams.
Ashley Johnson being washed by Andrea Vertigan. Bounce pass to Williams. Starlin wants to take it in. Ball knocked away, and we've got a foul. And that foul is going to be on Megan Vogel. That is her 3rd.
Coach Paul's going to go back with Hillary O'Connell in for Tina Moen. Moen, the one that was around the basket when the offensive rebound happened a couple possessions ago, and Coach Paul was upset with the effort that he saw to Moen.
So Hillary O'Connell, Julie Starla Williams, Jenna Lewis Carlisle, and Ashley Johnson. JLC wide open for 3, short. Loose ball picked up.
JLC with a great look there, unable to convert on the 3-point attempt. A nice play by Chris Paul coming out of the out-of-bounds play.
Sealer, left side, give and go. Now inside to Gilbert, cut off by Huna. Left-hand shot. Nice move by Christina Gilbert. Couldn't go to the right, so she went to her left.
That'll give Gilbert points, I believe, her first 2 points of the second half, as she had 8 in the first half for the Lady Jacks.
Huna wants to drive on Gilbert. Turnaround shot. That's way short. And here comes South Dakota State again. Sealer on the run. Heather, watched by Jenna Lewis Carlisle to Gilbert. Now we got a reach-in foul on Julianne Huna.
I believe she's out, Mike. I think that's her fifth.
Yep, I think you're right, Dan.
The Dons are looking a little bit tired here as their shots have come up short. JLC's had 2 looks at the 3, both missed short, and we saw Huna miss in the lane a little bit short there. So hopefully that isn't the case, but we'll see here as the last 5 minutes dwindle down.
Chris Paul has 20 seconds to make a change, which he's gonna bring in Victoria Grossnickel. Victoria, 6'1" sophomore from Homewood, Illinois. Did not play basketball last year. Sealer's going to try a long 3, short. Rebounded by John Lewis Carlisle. Here comes JLC up the floor to AJ. Nice pass, shot off the glass and in. And immediately Chris Paul calls a 30-second timeout. Boy, good give and go that time between JLC.
Chris Paul probably going to try to set up some type of a press here coming out of the timeout. Obviously the lead is 20, but IPFW's not out of this thing yet. There's still 5 minutes to play. That was a nice break set up by JLC feeding AJ for the bucket.
Well, we're going to take a look right now at our upcoming schedule. Now the basketball team seasons are quickly coming to an end. The men's basketball team has their second last game on Sunday against North Dakota State at 3 o'clock. And then the season finale, believe it or not for you guys, is next Wednesday night.
That's right, Mike. And those are 2 key games for us. We lost to North Dakota State.
Here's a look at the women's schedule. They're going to play North Dakota State as well on Sunday at 1 o'clock. On Wednesday, they're going to play Utah Valley State at 5:30, preceding your season finale. And then the women's season finale will be on March 3rd against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. And that will be an interesting one, as that'll be the back end of a volleyball-basketball doubleheader. And we'll be bringing both of those matches to you here on College 56 Sports. Ball taken away by AJ for a moment. Gilbert.
And they're going to call a travel there.
And South Dakota State's lucky it's a travel and not a foul.
And Gilbert unable to control herself, traveled there. Great pressure by the Dons. AJ forced the turnover there, and Starl able to get the steal.
So let's see what the Dons can do with 4-4. AJ wants to drive on Sealer. Tries driving, shot up, count it, I think.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good basket by AJ. At first, it looked like the foul might have been on the floor, but AJ with a nice strong move, able to draw the contact and cut in a little bit to this lead.
Heather Sealer picks up her second foul.
One thing we can probably expect, Mike, is the Dons to continue this pressure. A great opportunity after this free throw by AJ.
Free throw up and in by the junior out of Kokomo. She's 2 out of 2 at the stripe tonight. Again, more pressure. It's down to 59 to 42. Sealer. Work it around. Here's Vertigan. Reverse it. Jumper, no good.
Good box out by Williams, and here comes JLC.
To AJ. AJ, wow, what a move inside. Oh, she's knocking the floor. Is it intentional or no?
It is, it is. He's got the double X up going right now, and Coach Paul's happy. And AJ will go to the line with the chance to make a couple free throws.
What a move, a first step move, crossover move. As you see it on the replay, boom. And then just taking her down. Was that Vertigan or was that Sarda? Or is that Gilbert? We're going to call the foul on Gilbert, her fourth. AJ knocks down the first one.
And Mike, we said the Dons wanted to cut it by 10 by the media timeout under 4. Still 5 points away from that with only 15 seconds to go, but you never know what can happen.
Both free throws good. It's now 59-44, and more importantly, IPW retains possession. Boy, if they could knock down a tray, you never know. Johnson looking for a gray shirt, I should say, gets it to Lewis Carlisle. JLC stops, pops, hits. Got it.
And they've gone back to their penetration. AJ the 2 times before, and JLC with a good job here.
Aaron Johnson calls a 30-second timeout from the bench. Try to quell this IPFW uprising.
With these free throws and timeouts coming quickly as they are, that gives the Lady Dons a great opportunity to set up the press and force turnovers, which they've been able to do in these last couple minutes here at Hilliard Gate Center.
Each team has 3 timeouts left, each team with a full and 2 30s. There's also the under 4 media timeout, so still plenty of opportunities for Chris Paul especially to be able to stop the clock, set up a defense.
Yeah, and that's what he's going to look to do, and you know, it's been successful so far, so they're going to continue to look for that same success, and they're going to pick up full court and hopefully force a turnover here.
Jennifer Workentine, the inbound the ball to Sealer. Sealer double team back to Workentine. They get it up the floor. Vertigan gets it down low, shot up, and no good by Sarda. Now IPFW is going to be called for the foul. And Grossnickel will be called for the foul, her first.
That's unfortunate, really. She appeared to have her hands straight up, and there really wasn't much contact, and that would have been a nice stop.
Keep up with the IPF. I'm sorry, let me backtrack. For a moment. Join head coach Dane Fife as we get a look on the monitor of the first-year IPFW men's head basketball coach. Join head coach Dane Fife on College 56 for Inside Dons basketball with highlights and insights on the Mastodons from the coach and his guests. Here's Shirley Mike Mons host the show. It's seen Tuesdays at 10:30, Thursdays at 7, Fridays at 6:30, and Saturdays at 12:30 here on College 56 Sports. Boy, isn't that a nice-looking picture of your boss?
Yeah, always smiling, except during game time, of course.
Truthfully, I have to ask you, what's it been like working with Dane this year?
It's been great. He's doing a great job so far in his first year as a head coach. Really emphasizing, hard work and effort to the guys.
Game in the second half with less than 10 minutes to go. They were only down by 3 before Purdue pulled away, but they really gave an all-out effort and showed that they can play basketball with just about anybody. Purdue at that time was ranked 10th country. 2 free throws for Sarda. The first one bounces around and out.
Coach Paul reminding his players to get a box out here and hopefully get a rebound.
Second free throw is good. That's the first point of the night for Natalie Sarda. Makes our score 60-46. Muckenhern back on the floor. Here we go. Johnson watched by Sealer. They do a clear out. AJ gets a pick from Grossnickel. Kicks it back around to John Lewis Carlisle. Three-pointer. No. Rebounded that time by Muckenhern.
Well, Mike, from our angle, that did look like it was going to go in. A little bit off to the left, though. Hopefully we can get a stop.
You're during the TV business, Dan, trying to save your partner. Move by Vogel. Shot up and in. Count it, and she's fouled. Boy, that ball could have gone either way in terms of both she and Victoria Grossnickel had the arms out.
Yeah, there might have been a little hook there, but Vogel got away with it, and she's going to go to the line to convert the three-point play.
Boy, she has played well tonight. Free throw is no good. And foul was the second by Grossnickel, but look at this. South Dakota State with the rebound. 62-46. 3:10 to go.
Coach Johnston signaling to his players that he doesn't want a shot just yet.
Sealer with the left hand wards off Grossnickel and puts the ball off the glass and in. I apologize, folks. I was a high school official for 8 years. I'm very disappointed in some of the officiating calls both ways tonight. I'll be flat honest. Williams loses the ball. And now South Dakota State can take the air out of the ball with 2:40 to go, leading by 18.
And that's what it looks to do, is they're going to probably try to get some dribble penetration and get a good shot here.
Sealer Kicks it out. Vogel for three. That's the dagger in the heart. Just the friendly bounce. Vogel's got 15 points in this second half. Vogel. Johnson, shot up and in. 67-48 with 2:07 to go.
Last possession, Vogel able to set a ball screen and a little pick and pop, able to knock down the three.
O'Connell trying to guard Heather Sealer.
They're going with the same play.
Vogel gonna throw up a three. Boy,
same result. Same play, same result. They did that high ball screen again. Vogel didn't get it the first time. It got reversed back around to her, and she was able to make her second three on as many trips.
She's got 25 points. O'Connell for three, no good. Vogel with the rebound, and we're down to 90 seconds, and this one is all but over. 70-48, South Dakota State will win their 8th in a row and improve to 18-8 on the year. The modest IPFW two-game winning streak will come to an end. You can't say the Dons didn't try here tonight.
Well, Mike, don't let the score be any indication of the battle that this game was. The Lady Dons down 5 at halftime, really cut the game to 2 there at the beginning of the second half, and have really fought more than this 72-48 score will show.
The working team puts an offensive ball back up and in, and now Chris Paul calls a timeout for substitution purposes. Comes with just 57 seconds left. No strategy discussed, just new players on the floor. And let's see who's on the floor. Kelly Boyd, Nan Moore, Ashley Johnson, Jenna Lewis Carlisle, and they need a fifth. And IPFW still needs a fifth.
Looks like it's going to be Starla Williams.
There we go. Also a fresh 5 for South Dakota State as Aaron Johnson has called off the Dogs. Lewis Carlisle gets the friendly bounce. Jenna Lewis now with 10 points here tonight.
IPFW still pressuring, and it looks like
ball went out of bounds. Ashley Johnson just went helter-skelter towards it. Gets up slowly, but AJ has battled tonight.
It's good to see IPFW players still playing with the same tenacity that they started the game with, showing that never-get-up mentality that Chris Paul's instilled in these players.
We're down to our last 35 seconds. Sarda, blocked by Boyd. Sarda, Rat travels with the basketball. So IPFW will have it at least one last time. Just over 30 ticks to go. JLC wants to go coast to coast. Pulls up, jumper is good.
Man, she's got such a quick release. She had another nice pull-up move there.
72-22, 18 seconds left. Let's see if South Dakota State just eats the ball. The shot clock is off. We're down to 11 seconds. Or if they're going to take a shot. There's a steal by AJ. Coming right at us. Good effort by the junior.
As I said in this last possession, the Dons are going to fight every last second off this clock. There's no giving up in this team.
5.1 ticks left, and let's see. South Dakota State, thank you, are they going to call it off, and that is it. Final score, 72-52. Coaches and players shaking hands here at midcourt. Again, with the victory, South Dakota State improves to 18-8. They're now won 8 in a row. IPFW drops to 4-21. And A for effort. Unfortunately, just not enough points tonight.
That's exactly right, Mike, and it is an A for effort. The Dons came out with that same energy that we saw these past 2 games, and just weren't able to stay with them the whole time. You can see the disappointment on these girls' faces as they knew they left everything they had on the floor tonight.
Well, again, a tough loss for the Dons. They lose 72-52. We will take a break, come back, and then we'll recap it, have some stats for you as well. Again, IPFW drops one here tonight, 72-52 to South Dakota State. Back with more women's basketball in a moment, right here on College 56 Sports.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils?
We only ask that you do your best.
And make you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Oh, yes, to the 40, to the 50, to the 40 of Dedham. He's going down the sideline, and it's a...
Legislation being considered now in the U.S. Congress passes, you won't see your local team or your government or local events and news on this TV channel. Telecom giants want to end the funding source for this and other local channels, and with such action, end your rights to watch or produce local programming. Don't let local access become won't see TV. Go to SaveMyFreeSpeech.net or AllianceCM.org now and learn how you can help. Become informed and contact your representatives in Washington. The time for your action is now. Otherwise, this is all you'll see here soon.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW. Some of the fans are beginning to leave here tonight as our game has been completed, and unfortunately for IPFW, the Mastodons drop a tough one tonight to South Dakota State by a final score of 72-52. I've been joined tonight by Dan Beret, graduate assistant for the IPFW men's basketball team, who has really helped us out a lot. And Dan, when we look back at this game, the first thing we're going to do is start looking at some highlights, second half highlights.
Well, the two adjustments that we talked about is Huna started and Moen started the second half as well, and they didn't originally start the game, and I think they combined for the first 7 or 9 points of the half, as we saw.
Good pass from John Lewis Carlisle to Ashley Johnson. Boy, that tandem has worked well now for almost 2 complete seasons, and they'll have at least one more to go, as Ashley will be a senior next year.
Yeah, the Dons didn't get the same type of dribble penetration that they got in the first half. Here we're seeing a couple of the clips that they did get, and that was really the difference in the second half of this basketball game.
Pull-up jumper by Ashley Johnson goes through there. And we said it in the first half, and in the second half again, both teams scrapping. Sometimes it was more like either a football, rugby, or hockey match as opposed to a basketball game. But again, give South Dakota State credit. They're not 18-8 for nothing. They've played some good basketball. They show some good team speed. They move the ball down the floor quickly. They've got a good outside shooter in Heather Sealer, and they had some good inside play tonight. And Megan Vogel was a good, I'd call her a 3, you feel?
Yeah, Vogel can really play the 3, 4, or 5 as her inside presence, but then knock down a couple threes late, which would eventually seal the deal for the Lady Jacks. A very quick team, can shoot the ball very well, so you almost have to pick your poison when dealing with them on the defensive end, and the Dons did struggle a little bit this evening with that.
Well, they trailed at the half 31-25. They did pull to within 2 at 33-31 with 17.5 minutes to go, but then South Dakota State started pulling away, and a couple of three-pointers, and here's some of the final team numbers. South Dakota State 27-61 from the floor for 44%. IPFW 22 of 56 for 39. 3-point shots, 5 of 19 for the Jackrabbits, 1 of 11 for the Mastodons. Assists even at 7. Look at that rebounding edge, 48-22 for South Dakota State. Turnovers almost even, 18-16 in favor in the negative way for South Dakota State. And at the foul line, Jackrabbits 13 of 19, IPFW 7 of 8, but that 48-22 edge on the boards, that's a killer. And of those 48 rebounds, 17 of those were offensive rebounds as opposed to only 3 offensive rebounds for the Dons.
That's right, Mike. And obviously looking at the stat sheet, that's the number that's going to jump out right away. As we mentioned before, a lot of those because of the zone, the Jacks able to find the seams in the zone and get some offensive rebounds, which would lead to a lot of second chance points, which were the difference in this ball game.
Well, hopefully we're going to look at some individual numbers here. And we talked about Megan Vogel for South Dakota State. Boy, she showed her presence tonight. 25 points in addition to 8 rebounds, 2 steals, only 1 turnover in 26 minutes of play. Jennifer Workentine with 11 points, Christina Gilbert with 10 points, so that's 21 additional points from inside.
Right.
For IPFW, Ashley Johnson with 16, Jonna Lewis Carlisle with 12, and Julianne Huna with 11, leading the way there. But again, South Dakota State, Chris Paul said it was going to be the toughest opponent of the remaining opponents, and they still have an outside chance at possibly qualifying for a WNIT postseason berth. They can't qualify for NCAA, but they can possibly qualify for WNIT, and they look pretty good here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, Coach Paul and his team knew that this was going to be a tough game coming in, an undefeated team in the independent league play, and if they win these next 2 ball games, that'll get them to 20. And this could be a WNIT team, as you mentioned, Mike, and it'll be interesting to see what happens for the Jacks.
Well, remaining now on the schedule for IPFW is 3 more games, all at home. Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock against North Dakota State. Wednesday night, they are going to, and I'm escaping me now, who we're going to be playing. Get my schedule real quick.
I believe it's Utah Valley State.
Utah Valley State, again, that's also at the Coliseum. Again, Wednesday night at 5:30. And then the season finale 1 week from tonight, March 3rd, senior night against Texas A&M Corpus Christi, a game that they could have I won't say easily, but they did have a chance to win down in Texas. They lost by 8 down there. And I want to remind you that our next live telecast of IPFW Athletics will take place Friday, March 3rd at 5:30. That's next Friday when the University of Pacific Tigers come to town to take on Arnie Ball's IPFW Volleydons. That'll be followed at 8 p.m. again by senior night, the season finales, Texas A&M Corpus Christi and IPFW. So back-to-back volleyball, basketball doubleheader next Friday here on College 56 Sports. Dan, again, we mentioned you're with the men's team and you've got 2 games left. Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock against North Dakota State. And then your season finale is next Wednesday at the Coliseum against Texas Pan American.
Happened since turning Division I, and certainly that's something that we're going to try to do. That doesn't mean we're going to, necessarily overlook North Dakota State. That's our main focus right now, coming out and playing them tough as they beat us in Fargo, North Dakota, earlier in the season.
Well, I can't thank you enough for coming and helping us tonight with our telecast. Dave Skelton had to leave town. Again, I want to remind you also that you can see a taped replay of tonight's game with South Dakota State. That'll be Sunday, March the 12th at 7 p.m. Again, Sunday, March 12th, 7 o'clock. The replay of tonight's game between IPFW and South Dakota State. Dan Beret, thank you so much. Possibly we might see you a week from tonight. Yeah. We'll see how things go, but we really appreciated your contributions to the telecast tonight.
No problem, Mike. It was fun to be here watching some good basketball.
Well, at this time, we would like to thank, among other people, the College 56 production crew, the IPFW athletic staff, the City of Fort Wayne, Comcast Cablevision, the IPFW Learning Resource Center, and especially the IPFW Office of University Relations and Communications for their contributions to this College 56 sports telecast. We also want to thank our sponsor, Big Daddy's Pizza, with 3 locations in Fort Wayne, for providing the College 56 staff with a pregame meal. This telecast of IPFW Sports is copyrighted and the sole property of the College Cable Access Center and IPFW. Unauthorized duplication, exhibition, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this event without expressed written consent is strictly prohibited. We hope you've enjoyed this cast of IPFW Sports, if not the outcome, and we thank you again for joining us tonight. Again, for Graduate Assistant Dan Beret from the IPFW men's basketball team, this is Mike Moss saying so long for now. Once again, our final score here tonight at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center in front of a crowd of 273 fans. South Dakota State now 18-8, 72. IPFW now 4-21, 52. Till next Friday night, we wish you a very pleasant evening as we bid you a fond adieu now from the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW.